I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. You want to see a real journalist? I want to show you fed up reporter Kyle Clark from Denver 9 News addressing Lauren Boebert. Watch this incredible takedown. Play the clip.
It's time that we acknowledge something that may be obvious by now. We hold Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert to a different standard than every other elected official in Colorado. We hold Congresswoman Boebert to a far lower standard. If we held her to the same standard as every other elected Republican and Democrat in Colorado, we would be here near nightly chronicling the cruel, false, and bigoted things that Boebert says for attention and fundraising. This is not about politics, assuming politics is still about things like taxes, national security, healthcare, jobs, and public lands. This is about us, as journalists, recognizing that we'll hold a politician accountable if they say something vile once, but we won't do it if they do it every day. Our double standard is unfair to all the elected officials in Colorado, Republicans and Democrats, who display human decency.
You know, we criticize a lot of legacy media, the both sides-isms we see of a lot of reporters. Not there. What Kyle Clark is saying is the type of things we talk about here all the time on the MeidasTouch network. That's not a political thing. They're not talking about lower taxes or this government program or that government program. What we are talking about, coming from these MAGA Republicans like Lauren Boebert, is cruel and unusual behavior that is disqualifying for the offices they hold. Period. Full stop. Here is Kyle Clark again, discussing the most recent Lauren Boebert disgraceful incident at the public theater where she was watching the Beetlejuice show with her boyfriend while they were fondling each other. She was blowing vape smoke in the face of people while acting loudly, wildly irresponsible. Here's Kyle Clark again.
Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert's recent performance of sorts that got her thrown out of the theater in Denver was a lot of things, but it wasn't a surprise. I haven't seen a single person say why I am shocked that Lauren Boebert was rude, disruptive, and belligerent. This is, after all, the Congresswoman who suggested that a Muslim colleague was a suicide bomber. I haven't seen anyone surprised that Boebert did not tell the truth about what happened. Because, I mean, days before, we just fact-checked her latest false claim about migrants. I haven't seen anyone say that it was out of character for the Congresswoman to appear to berate theater staff members who were just trying to do their jobs. Really, the only surprise in all of this is that Boebert, once she got caught, apologized and said that she didn't live up to her values. What? I mean, when Boebert didn't know that the cameras were watching, she was exactly who she is when she does know people are watching. Boebert reportedly asked the theater staff, "Don't you know who I am?" Yes, we do.
And again, when this comes from Lauren Boebert, there isn't any surprise. In fact, whether it's Lauren Boebert or Marjorie Taylor Greene or Anna Paulina Luna wearing AR-15 pins, walking the halls of the People's Chamber to mock the victims of school shooting, along with people like George Santos under indictment for lying about everything in his entire life and engaging in open and obvious crimes and even doing things he hasn't been charged with, like stealing from veterans by creating sham charities, telling the veterans that he would treat their dogs with veterinarian care and then taking the money. Some disgraceful behavior. And by the way, here's what Lauren Boebert said when she was confronted by TMZ and asked about the incident. This is her disgraceful response. Play the clip, and I want to then break down everything she said. Play this clip.
Congresswoman, I know it's, been a rough week. Or has it been?
It's always hard whenever there's gravity put on the voters. I'm here to provide levity and lift burdens off of people. So anytime that they're carrying mine, it's something that, kind of feel deep inside. But ultimately all future date nights have been canceled, and I learned to check party affiliations before you go on a date. But all in all, it was mostly a lovely time, and I've taken responsibility for my actions. Would love to know how the musical ended, and I encourage people to go and see it. But yeah, it was a great time back in the district, seeing voters. And
so how are the voters taking it? How are the voters taking it right now? Are they understanding at this moment?
Yeah, there's a lot of folks who are certainly understanding, and they understand that it was a part of my personal life, my private time, something that I rarely indulge in. And yeah.
So every word she said is a complete and utter lie. She goes, "That's what I do in my private life." You were in a public theater. Those cameras weren't behind closed doors the same way you want to go behind the closed doors of doctor offices, medical facilities, the bedrooms of people to take away their freedoms, the way you want to invade people's privacy and legislate their freedoms and what they do with their body, how they control their body. That's not what occurred here. You went to a public theater and started blowing vape smoke into people's faces, and in a audience filled with children engaged in sex acts with your boyfriend or former boyfriend at the time. So no, that's not your private life, the same way you want to interfere with the private lives of Americans. Number two, you say people know you are about levity. I don't think you know what these words mean. There's nothing there that involves the word levity. The same way on your prior justification, you said the word eccentric. Eccentric and levity, those words are not the right words. It just further proves that you don't know anything that you are talking about. And then you act like you're carrying the burdens of the people. No, you're not carrying the burdens of the people. You are acting like a complete and utter fool in a public setting. You are acting so irresponsibly. You are disgracing your job. You are disgracing the people's chamber. You are disgracing America with your actions each and every day. Whose burdens are you carrying? Oh, you need to have these religious intonations the same way you prance around on stage and cite Jesus and Bible verses while you take away people's freedoms. It is utterly shameful. And then, of course, at the end, oh, I should check the party affiliation before I date people. No, just behave yourself to standards of responsibility. Act like an adult, please. Act like an adult. And that's the thing, going back to what we discussed earlier in this video, what Kyle Clark was talking about. This is what we say here. That's not me being a liberal or a Democrat and saying, oh, here's my Democratic position. You shouldn't blow vape into people's faces and engage in that kind of thing. No, just behave yourself normal. I want a government built of compassion, decency, normalcy. I want a government that runs efficiently and effectively. And I am tired of these fascist clowns running around and making a mockery of this great country while they cite the Bible and the Constitution and they disgrace our flag. It is horrible. It is horrific. And it is something that we will call out. And I am grateful that there is a local reporter like Denver 9 News reporter Kyle Clark just calling out objectively that behavior. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 2 million subscribers thanks to your incredible support. Check us out as well at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Have a great day.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.